Hello everybody and welcome to another jam-packed episode of MBHL on the Ball. I'm Matthew LaFleur-Harewood. Some news to pass your way from headquarters. If you wish to get a copy of your full game filmed during On the Ball, please contact Sean Guerrero at the email posted below. Now, let's get some ball hockey action. Our first game comes from the Mixed League where we find Flying V taking on Pardon My Swag. Flying V are currently in 5th in the Y League overall standings, while Pardon My Swag hold a top spot with just one loss this season. Flying V are 2-0-1 in their last 3, whereas Pardon My Swag are 3-0-2 in their last 5. Pardon My Swag won the first meeting between these two teams 6-3. We start our first game with Flying V's Corey Steger on the attack. He dangles around Stevie Ross only to see Jimmy Gallinopoulos make the initial save before grabbing his own rebound and stuffing it through traffic to make it 1-0 Flying V. Pardon My Swag would tie it up under 2 minutes later. Posted along the boards, Mike Brown finds Joey Bernardo crashing in the net with a beautiful pass that he redirects up high on Justin Manassa. We have a 1-1 game. Steger is back on the attack moments later. From the corner, he finds Caitlin Ben alone in front, but she shoots just wide of the empty net. Soon after, Brad Johns intercepts a Nicky Wild pass and breaks in against Gallinopoulos, who turns him aside. The score now 2-1 Flying V. Pardon My Swag will once again tie it up on a beautiful passing play. Kevin Feehan to Julio Correa to Mike Brown to the back of the net. Tic-tac-toe tied at 2. A few plays later, Manassa comes up big against Lauren Proudfoot up close, making a toe save on the one-timer. A save worth a second look. With 1 second left in the period, Pardon My Swag would take their first lead of the game. Wild cuts from the corner to the middle before wristing a softie towards the net that handcuffs Manassa and finds its way to the back of the net. A shot that Manassa would likely like to see again. Looking to add to their lead in the second, Pardon My Swag attack on a 3-on-1. The ball will eventually get to Correa, but his shot hits the post as the ball bounces over atop the net and into the corner. Close call. The score is now 4-3 Pardon My Swag when they attack looking for more. Correa finds Bernardo in the corner, but he fans on his shot. The number 25 gets the ball back before finding Jess Kaneb for the easy tap-in up close. It's now 5-3 with 15 minutes left. Flying V would get 2 quick goals from Ryan Steger and Johns to tie things back up at 5 before Adam Ayat and Johns break in on a 2-on-1, with Johns finally closing the deal with his 4th goal of the night. They would go on to score another and take the win, 7-5. Pardon My Swag lose for only the second time in 11 games. Julio Correa finished the game with 4 passes in a losing cause. Corey Steger had 1 goal and 4 assists for Flying V, who now sit only 3 points behind Pardon My Swag. Manassa flinched 5 times on 20 shots, whereas Gallinopoulos stopped 16 of 23. We now turn to the H League for our second game where Bubba Gumps face off with Whitehawks. Bubba Gumps hold the 8th and final playoff spot with a 2-6-1 record, while Whitehawks sit in 3rd, 1 point behind CTH in 2nd. Bubba Gumps is looking for their 2nd straight win, while Whitehawks will look to stay undefeated in 4 straight games. Whitehawks won the only meeting between these two 3-1. This game starts with Whitehawks on the power play less than 2 minutes into the game. Zubair Wahid and Ozair Wahid pass the ball between each other before Ozair rips a one-timer that beats Jeff Howell's high glove side. 1-0 Whitehawks. Just 2 minutes after that, Vinay Desai chips the ball at his own blue line and attacks 1-on-1. He breaks to his forehand and wrists the blocker's side on Shoaib Hassan to tie it up at 1. 2 goals in less than 3 minutes. Bubba Gumps keep the pressure on over 1 minute later. Unable to clear the zone, Stu Klein finds Ryan Steger, who was left alone behind the line of defense, and the Gumps forward beats Hassan with a backhander. That's now 3 goals in the first 5 minutes. The boys in pink look to add to their lead later on with Brad Johns on the attack. The talented forward does a sweet move to get around his defender but gets stoned up close. Fast forward to the end of the period with the score now 3-2 Whitehawks. With Bubba Gumps on the power play, Pascal Serrano's point shot gets tipped by Desai in front, and we have ourselves a tie game going into the second. Great hand-eye. Now early in the second, we find Whitehawks on the power play. Posted alone in the slot, Mohamed Lassania one-times the Ozair Wahid pass, beating Howell's low blocker side to give the Whitehawks the 4-3 lead. 2 minutes later, breaking in on a 2-on-2 in the neutral zone, Michel Guzgowski turns on the Jets and breaks through the defense before beating Hassan with a perfect shot up high. Looking to imitate his teammate, Mike Brown cuts down the same boards and tries to beat the netminder high blocker side, but his shot goes right off the post and out. The score is now 5-4 Bubba Gumps, and we find Whitehawks on a penalty kill. Sharif Youssef battles off the faceoff, and the ball gets to Jamshed Zafar, who shoots the ball past the sprawled Howells to tie the game at 5. In the dying moments of the game, Howells, who was less than stellar in this game, makes a game-saving glove save on Lasania's one-timer. The game would finally end in a 5-5 tie. 5 players had multi-point games for the Whitehawks, with Wahid brothers leading the way with 3 points each, while 3 players had 2-point games for Bubba Gumps. Special teams were a big factor in the game, with 4 power play goals and 1 shorthanded goal. Hassan was the least busiest goalie, having faced only 17 shots, while Howells faced 26. Our third game also comes from the H-League, where TBH faces off with Montreal Rebels. TBH are first in the league, while Montreal Rebels are 6th with a 3-4-2 record. TBH lost their first game of the season last week after winning 7 straight. Montreal Rebels are 3-1-1 in their last 5. These teams played to a 1-1 tie in their first meeting of the season. We start this game off with TBH on the attack. JJ Cosentini breaks in the zone and drops the ball back to Billy Cortoglu. Number 72 shot misses its target, but Cosentini is there to pick up the rebound to give his team the 1-0 lead. With just under 8 minutes left in the period, TBH turns over the ball to one of the most dangerous players in the game, Ali Naruzi, aka the Steven Stamkos of the MBHL. We have a 1-1 game. TBH would regain the lead before the end of the first period. Montreal Rebels are victim of a costly turnover themselves, and Kieran Griffiths take full advantage, beating Shiraz Yunus' low blocker side. 2-1 TBH. We now move into the second period to find Montreal Rebels on the power play. Passing the ball around at the blue line, the ball finally goes to Mohamed Alam, who tees up a one-timer that beats Matt Griffiths, who never saw that shot coming. It's tied at 2. Looking to grab their first lead of the game, Hani Aoud is sent in alone against Griffith, but the TBH netminder stands his ground. A few minutes later, it's Yunus' turn to keep this game tied when he makes back-to-back saves, with his best one coming off of Cortoglu's rebound shot. With 3.5 minutes remaining in the game, TBH would grab their third lead with another great display of hand-eye coordination, this time from Ryan Smith, who bats the rebound out of midair for the 3-2 TBH lead. Looking for the equalizer again, Naruzi breaks down the left-hand boards, forcing a 2-on-1. Naruzi gets the ball across to Aoud, who seemingly has an open net in front of him, but Griffith stacks the pads to rob him of a sure goal. An absolute beauty that leaves everybody shaking their head. With 30 seconds left in the game, the Montreal Rebels control the play on a 6-on-3, having pulled their goalie on the 2-man advantage. They cycle the ball up high again, and once again, Alam tees up a one-timer that beats Griffith to tie it at 3. Game over? Not quite. With just 5 seconds left on the clock, John Shukri is sent in on a breakaway and goes to his backhand before sliding the ball behind Griffiths with only 1 second remaining on the clock to give the Rebels the unexpected 4-3 win. What an end to a closely fought game. TBH lose for only the second time this season, while Montreal Rebels are now playing for 500 hockey. For one of the rare occasions on the ball, Ali Naruzi sits at the bottom of the scoreboard. Aoud had 3 assists, while Alam had 2 goals. Griffiths made 16 saves, while Yunus made 21. Game 4 comes from the K-League and has Wheeling Nailers going head-to-head with Reapers. Neither team is having the best season right now, with Wheeling Nailers in 6th place and Reapers last in the 8th spot. Wheeling Nailers are looking to register at least a point in their 3rd straight game, while Reapers will hope to snap a 3-game losing streak and a 2-game shutout streak. We begin Game 4 with Wheeling Nailers in the attacking zone. Joe Messina misses a great chance on the initial pass in front of the net, but grabs the rebound in the corner and tries to stuff it by Stéphane Desormier. Mathieu Lorrain fans on the clearing attempt, and the ball ends up on Tom Nikolitopoulos' stick, who sees his backhand stop, but Lorrain tries to clear the front of the net and accidentally scores in his own net. And just like that, it's 1-0 Wheeling Nailers. Fast forward 3 minutes to find Wheeling Nailers on the power play. Peter Psy-Harris' shot goes right off the post, but is picked up by Billy Raptis, who sets up, spins, and shoots a wrister that beats Desormier glove side. The lead is now doubled. The Reapers mustered only 6 shots towards Justin Manassa in the first period, but the Nailers goalie had to look sharp against Eric Nantel late in the period. Now in the second, more offense from Wheeling Nailers who work hard behind the net before setting up Nikola Makrisopoulos for a one-timer, only to be denied. Moments later, Reapers get their first good chance to get on the board when Steve Lamery gets sent in alone on Manassa, but his backhander is gobbled up by the netminder. Lamery is at the forefront of another Reapers attack, forcing a failed clearing attempt from behind the net and posting up in front of Manassa, hoping to screen the goalie. With the Reapers on the power play, they turn the ball over in the neutral zone, which quickly turns into a 2-on-1 shorthanded opportunity for the Nailers. Matthew Mandato passes to Anthony Corey, who beats Desormier with a well-placed wrister glove side, extending the lead to 3. Looking to cut the lead down late in the game, Reapers attack with Simon Lucci getting a good shot from the slot. Moments after, Danny Lamery works behind the goal line and finds Dantel parked in front, only to see his shot hit the post to the left of Manassa. With the face-off deep in Wheeling Nailers' zone, the ball gets to Raptis and he kicks it into 5th gear to break in alone. He tries to deke out Desormier, but the goalie makes a nice sprawling save to keep the score 3-0. The Reapers get a final chance to break Manassa's shutout bid late in the game, but the netminder will have nothing of it, stopping Nantel's wrist shot from the slot. Wheeling Nailers would finally win it with a final score of 3-0. The loss marks the Reapers' 8th in 10 games this season. The Nailers moved to 1 game under 500 with the win. The shutout was Manassa's 3rd of the season, who faced just 15 shots, whereas Desormier flinched on 3 of the 18 shots directed towards him. Our last game sees 2 teams from the F-League facing off. Homerhawks versus Turbinators. Homerhawks are currently holding the 8th and last playoff spot, while Turbinators sit in 4th. Homerhawks have lost 2 straight decisions, while Turbinators have won 4 straight, outscoring their opponents 23-6 in those games, including a 2-0 win against the same Homerhawks. Our 5th and final game begins with Homerhawks attacking deep in Turbinators' zone. A turnover at the hash marks leaves Mathieu Jabin alone in front of Shiraz Younes, but his backhand goes wide. This time, Homerhawks attack on a 2-on-1. Louis Verano opts to pass to Steve Jett, who breaks in alone, but Younes gets a piece of his shot, sending it wide. Homerhawks would finally break through Younes' wall at the 7th-minute mark of the first. Once again deep in their zone, the clearing attempt from the corner hits a stake and lays in the slot long enough for Verano to pick it up and bury his shot low glove side. 1-0 Homerhawks. That lead would only last 1 minute. Christian Moras blocks a clearing attempt of his own and picks up the loose ball in the corner. Posted near the net, J.F. Perry just has to tap in the perfect Moras pass behind Alexandre Mercier to tie it up at 1. Fast forward to the end of the first. Sofiane Mian finds Zuheb Shaikh breaking in, and the talented forward unleashes a quick snapshot that beats Mercier low glove side. Terminators take a 2-1 lead. Looking to add to their lead before the end of the period, Turbinators get a good chance to do so on an odd man rush, but make one too many passes and don't get a decent shot on net. Now in the second, and with the Turbinators on the power play, Mercier comes up big not once, first on Maras, but twice when he saves his best for Shaikh, who one times it up close. Watch how he extends the pad to rob him of a goal. At the 10-minute mark of the second period, the Turbinators defense loses the ball to Verano. The skilled forward cuts to the middle and has a shot stopped, but Jabin is there to bury the rebound to make it a 2-2 game. The Homerhawks' big three are back at it 6.5 minutes later. Verano finds Jabin in the slot, who then finds Jet, who then finds the back of the net with a sniper that beats Younes high inside. Turbinators would tie the game up at 3 on a power play goal from Maras, and with 30 seconds left in the game, Maras, Shaikh, and Mian unite their forces to give Turbinators the lead when Mian buries his chance in the slot, beating Mercier glove side. Turbinators take it 4-3. The win was the Turbinators' 5th in a row, and they show no signs of slowing down after a slow start to the season. With the loss, the Homerhawks dropped to 3-7 on the season. Louis Verano was the most dangerous player for the Homerhawks, with 1 goal and 2 assists, while Christian Moras had the same output for Turbinators. Turbinators more than doubled the Homerhawks in shots, 31-15. And now for the worst play of the night. Julio Correa is known for his great hand-eye coordination, but on this play, the ball smacks him in the face as he tries to glove it. Definitely not his best moment. And now for the highlight of the night. And for that, we go back to TBH versus Montreal Rebels game. Ali Naruzzi gets the pass across to Hani Aoud, who seemingly has an open net in front of him, but Griffith stacks the pad to rob him of a sure goal. A save that is definitely worth the highlight of the night. That's it for another episode of MBHL on the Ball. Our next episode will feature the first set of playoff games, so be sure to tune in. If you would like a copy of your full game, please contact Sean Guerrero at the email below. If you would like to have one of your games filmed aside from On the Ball, please contact me for details. Address will be found at the bottom. Until next time, have yourself a good one.